one of the most famous fighters of his generation, fighting in one of the famous stadiums in the world. Can you imagine being AJ right now? A lot of pressure too, though. Don't get it twisted. You've got to perform in front of 96,000 of your closest friends.
But mamma mia, Rosie, a social media sensation turned boxer, has turned the sport on its ear. This is incredible. And what must be going through this 27-year-old mind, like so many members of his generation, dealing with mental health issues? Here we go!
The matchup between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua has triggered serious discussion among boxing analysts. Most believe Joshua clearly holds the advantage because of his size, punching power, and elite heavyweight experience. His Olympic pedigree and long list of knockouts make him the obvious favorite. Jake Paul has improved over time, beating MMA names and mid-level boxers, but has never shared the ring with a true top-tier heavyweight. Experts say his only realistic hope is landing a surprising early shot, while Joshua's jab, timing, and discipline should dictate the pace. Many predict Joshua to secure a dominant stoppage within a few rounds. The event will definitely draw attention, but professionals almost unanimously see Joshua winning comfortably.
Nakisa, a few times on it. I mean, there's nothing to report to you that it's close, or, you know, there's a lot of hoops to jump through. Of course, AJ is exclusive to DAZN. We also work very closely with His Excellency, and although we have no contract with him, we're in talks for big fights next year, of course, Tyson Fury being one of them. So we'd definitely give him the respect of making sure that he was aware of the plan and, you know, part of that plan as well. But at the moment, you know, there's nothing major to report on that. Would we take the fight? Absolutely. I think Jake would be... I mean, my estimations of Jake Paul would go through the roof if he signs to fight Anthony Joshua, because I just can't believe in my mind that he would do something like that. I mean, Gervonta was a smart one because of his size. Like, you know, I think actually he would have had a lot of success against Jake Paul, but the size is a problem. But this would just be, you know, like if Jake Paul was to take the fight with AJ, you'd really have to maybe carry his balls in a wheelbarrow on the ring walk, you know, because AJ wouldn't mess around in there, you know. So it would be huge, but nothing, you know, to tell you it's close.
The clash between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua is now locked in for December 19th, 2025 at the Casa Center in Miami, with Netflix streaming it worldwide. This isn't a showcase or exhibition. It's a fully sanctioned heavyweight bout under Queensberry rules, set for 8 3-minute rounds with standard 10-ounce gloves. To balance things out, Joshua has agreed to come in at 245 pounds, noticeably lighter than his usual fight weight. With both men risking their official records, the stakes are real, and a knockout or clear finish is absolutely in play.
Really happening, Jake Paul will face the 2-time unified heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua on Friday, December the 19th in Miami, Florida. It's going to be an 8-round fight with 3-minute rounds and 10-ounce gloves. It's Joshua's first fight since being knocked out by Daniel Dubois in September last year. Jake Paul won a unanimous decision against veteran Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. earlier this year. Well, Jake Paul said this: a professional heavyweight fight against an elite world champion in his prime. When I beat Anthony Joshua, every doubt disappears and no one can deny me the opportunity to fight for a world title. To all my haters, this is what you wanted. To the people of the United Kingdom.
Many fans and analysts across the boxing world have reacted strongly to Jake Paul stepping in against Anthony Joshua. A large portion believes Paul aiming for a seasoned, high-level heavyweight like Joshua is a massive leap, one that feels overly bold and, to some, not entirely realistic.
Oh, that's right, the real deal respond to me as I tweeted my thoughts about delusion, which again, I think is more about what Jake said about Anthony Joshua and what he'll do to him. That was the more delusional aspect of this. Amanda Serrano said, at Jake Paul is the truth. Funny, they say he's a fraud for wanting easy fights, then he asked for the toughest fights ever and they say he's nuts. Listen, he was scheduled to fight Canelo, Gervonta, and now he's calling out Joshua. Come on, who else is doing this? Oh crap, on second thought, he is out of his freaking mind, you're right. That was more of just Amanda backing her guy, you know what I'm saying, the co-founder of MVP and someone that...
Dave Allen has strongly cautioned that Anthony Joshua could damage his reputation by fighting Jake Paul. He argues that even if Paul manages to land a solid punch, it could reflect poorly on Joshua's legacy. Allen views a matchup more as entertainment than a legitimate competition, and doubts Joshua would willingly take that kind of risk. He also believes many loyal boxing fans may see the fight as a step down, suggesting Joshua could lose some respect within the sport by facing a YouTuber-turned boxer like Paul.
Lost to Tommy Fury. Anthony Joshua cannot box Jake Paul. Horrific. He's dangerous for one, and two, if Jake Paul even lands a glove on him, it just diminishes everything that he's achieved. Jake Paul won't last 2 minutes for me. Never mind Anthony Joshua. It's ridiculous. It's a joke.
If AJ does say yes to going in against Jake Paul, does he harm his legacy?
I would lose a bit of respect for him, and I think a lot of boxing people would as well, to be honest. Why would he box him? 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, one of the best heavyweights of the last 20 years, held British boxing on his back. People might say he deserves to box Jake Paul. But why then? Why would he do it?
Did you lose respect from when he fought in Ngannou? Did you lose respect from Fury when he fought in Ngannou?
Ngannou's a serious fighting man. World champion of mixed martial arts.
It's a worrying thing, potentially, the damage that AJ could do to Jake Paul.
He'll hurt him. Yeah, Jake Paul is a cruiserweight. You wouldn't put the Midlands area cruiserweight champion in with Anthony Joshua, so why would you put Jake Paul in there? Just because he's a superstar? Whatever, I don't know what he does. What does he do? What is he?
A YouTuber.
It's just not worth it. He's got enough money as it is. Why risk all that for a few more quid? I don't like it.
Clash between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua is set for December 19th, 2025 at the Casa Center in Miami, streaming worldwide on Netflix. This won't be an exhibition. It's a fully sanctioned heavyweight bout under Queensberry rules, featuring 8 3-minute rounds with standard 10-ounce gloves. To balance the matchup, Joshua has agreed to come in at 245 pounds, lighter than his usual fight weight. With both men risking their official records, the stakes are real, and a knockout or clear finish is definitely possible.
Paul become a world champion? No. Why?
I think if they make him fight tough opponents, guys with experience, those guys will beat him. Now, if you catch somebody like myself at the end of their career, or somebody like Tyson, he caught it in their career, the chances are much higher. Because now it becomes over 50-50. You got a guy who's better than him, but the age factor. You understand me? And that's the only way to balance it for him to make it a 50-50 fight. Somebody who's on his level at the same age, those guys have too much experience. You understand me? So he's not going to beat those guys. But you find a guy who is past his prime, who has a mentality further than his, but past the prime, it kind of...
Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua promoter, has played down Jake Paul's abilities, describing him as a fairly ordinary boxer. Hearn has repeatedly questioned whether Paul is capable of competing at the sport's highest level, especially against someone like Joshua. He admits Paul has improved, but insists there's still nowhere near the standard required to challenge top heavyweight contenders.
Big Paul good for the sport of boxing?
Yes, I know these guys. They're unbelievably bright. I mean,
Yeah.
Logan, much brighter than Jake, in my opinion. But Jake's smart.
Okay.
Content creator. We have our ups and downs.
Yeah.
I respect Jake. I actually respect him in a boxing sense as well. But we fell out because I told him he was average. That's actually a compliment. Like, to be an average fighter, coming to this kid who's 26, 27, decides to go into boxing. We had a conversation where he's actually telling me he's going to beat Canelo Alvarez, and I'm looking around for cameras. I'm thinking, am I Mike Tucker?
Eddie Hearn has pointed out Jake Paul's recent bold claims, including his statement that he could beat Canelo Alvarez. Hearn sees this as completely unrealistic and believes Paul is greatly overstating his abilities. Although Paul has victories over ex-MMA fighters and a few lower-level boxers, most experts agree that the idea of him challenging elite fighters like Canelo or Joshua is far from believable.
Well then, it looks like Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul might be in discussions to fight. They were both on a call to each other earlier, and the viral video went round of Jake Paul saying he would knock out Anthony Joshua. If I'm being completely honest, I think Jake Paul would actually be lucky to make it out alive, and I'm actually being dead serious. I think Jake Paul would be lucky to make it out of the ring with Anthony Joshua alive. Tyron Woodley literally had Jake Paul on skates and had Jake Paul panicking for his life. Imagine what Anthony Joshua would do. Look at what Joshua did to the last non-boxer he fought in France at Ngannou. that is not going to end well for Jake Paul. But look, let's be real here. This fight should never happen. It's an absolute disgrace to the sport if it does. And yeah, there's got to be a lot of backlash if this actually happens, because it's actually probably worse to the sport of boxing than what Fury and Garni was when it came around, or, you know, or Mayweather McGregor.
Simon Jordan, former Crystal Palace owner and outspoken boxing analyst, has delivered a strong warning to Jake Paul about his potential fight with Anthony Joshua. Jordan argues that this matchup undermines the sport, insisting Paul lacks the experience and skill required to face a heavyweight of Joshua's stature. He believes the fight hurts boxing's credibility and reflects the negative direction the sport is heading. In Jordan's view, Paul will be completely outmatched, making the bout a dangerous risk for him while also devaluing Joshua's reputation by turning a serious contest into more of a show than a true boxing test.
All about welfare, player welfare, and he's in a situation where someone's welfare should be considered in the equation, not his financial welfare. But Jake Paul going into a fight with Anthony Joshua, to me, is absurd. I mean, Anthony Joshua is a legitimate two-time heavyweight champion of the world. He may have got destroyed by Daniel Dubois, but notwithstanding, there's nothing physically wrong with Anthony Joshua that he can't execute. Mentally, he might be in a little bit of a difficult position after the loss to Daniel Dubois. Jake Paul, if this is not going to be, curated into a little dance around exhibition, could find himself in a way of getting seriously hurt here, like Francis Ngannou did. Francis Ngannou was an MMA fighter that got blasted out by Anthony Joshua. A fitter, more focused Anthony Joshua than the version we've got now, possibly. But this, to me, is everything that's wrong with boxing. It's a money play, nothing wrong. I don't begrudge Anthony Joshua getting 50 million quid for an easy night's work. That's fantastic returns. Most people would take it. From the boxing world, Jake Paul is now a professional fighter. Whether we categorise him as a YouTuber or not, he's licensed to fight, which means that the governing body should be suggesting that this is not a fight that possibly they should be looking to sanction.
Yeah.
But they will, because the sanctioning fees will be enormous. Anthony Joshua will not lose his legacy like some people are suggesting, because no one will remember it in 2 or 3 years' time. If he embarrasses himself in there, they'll remember it. But if he goes in and knocks him out in 30 seconds flat, or turns it into a little bit more of a sort of Jake LaMotta Raging Bull holding him up for a few rounds and then knocking him out, then people will forgive it. He'll get a big bag of money, which most people in the world would take, and move on. And then we'll see if he fights anybody meaningful in the year. I mean, it is like sport has become. And what I got my head around on Saturday night was the entertainment value of Conor Benn and Chris Eubank. The fighting of itself, I could be all pious about it, but the entertainment industry is so prevalent in sport now. This is entertainment. This is going to have hundreds of millions of people watching it. Of course. And Anthony Joshua gets paid, and Jake Paul hopefully gets flattened.
Simon, I know the money's there, but does ultimately boxing get damaged?
Well, I think so. But I think boxing damages itself left, right and centre. But I think the reputability and the credibility of some of these boxing sanctioning bodies is poor anyway. But I think it does get damaged.
Even if it's an exhibition fight, which it might well be.
Well, then what's the jeopardy in that? If it's an exhibition fight, which it shouldn't be, if it's a proper fight, then Jake Paul is going to get demolished.
The matchup between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua has sparked plenty of debate among boxing experts. Most predict Joshua would have the advantage due to his size, power, and elite heavyweight experience. His Olympic pedigree and history of knockouts give him a clear edge. Jake Paul has shown progress by defeating MMA fighters and lower-tier boxers, but he has never faced a true top-level heavyweight. Analysts suggest his best chance will be landing an early, unexpected punch, while Joshua's discipline and jab are likely to control the fight. Many expect Joshua to earn a one-sided stoppage within a few rounds. While the bout promises entertainment, professionals overwhelmingly favor Joshua to come out on top.
Guys, I'm Christian Wong, and I'm here with David Benavidez. What are you looking forward to the most tonight, bare knuckles?
Honestly, it's my first time being at a bare knuckle fight, and it's already started amazing. And I'm just here to come to see the gore, the blood, and all that. So it's been living up to the hype.
I want to ask you about Jake Paul wanting to fight Anthony Joshua. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a good fight if they can make it happen. And let's do it. You know what I mean? Jake Paul is a big household name. Anthony Joshua, needless to say, he's one of the greatest champions of boxing. So if they can get it done, that'll be a huge fight for boxing. And I said, let's do it.
You were in the talks to fight Bivol. What are your thoughts on that? Is it in the works? So when is it happening?
So right now we're trying to negotiate the fight. It might be in the works in September, but we don't know. You know, everything in boxing is not 100%. So we're just going to keep trying to negotiate the fight, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But that's the one.
Veteran heavyweight Derek Chisora has sharply criticized the notion of Jake Paul receiving a WBC ranking, calling it a disrespect to the sport. Chisora argued that true athletes earn their place through hard work in the ring, while Paul, facing non-rank or past prime opponents, would advance largely because of his fame rather than merit. He also accused WBC President Mauricio Sullivan of prioritizing money over credibility, stating, "That is a disgrace to boxing. That is unfair." Chisora emphasized that legitimate ranking should be earned through competition, not granted for clicks or promotional appeal.
WBC have said they're going to give a cruiserweight ranking to the winner of this fight. Do you think they deserve one?
No, I don't think so. I don't know why. It's hard enough for real athletes, for real boxers, to get those rankings, and then suddenly this Solomon Souza decides to give double ranking because he's getting some greens in his, in his back pocket. No, that is.
Lawrence Okolie has voiced serious concern about Jake Paul potentially facing Anthony Joshua, warning it could be a major safety risk. While Okolie previously praised Paul's dedication and mindset after sparring with him, he now sees the matchup with AJ, given his elite power and skill, as dangerously uneven. Many boxing professionals share similar concerns. Eddie Hearn called it dangerous, very dangerous. Frank Warren highlighted Joshua's clear physical advantage, and former world champion Mir Khan cautioned that Paul could be seriously hurt in the ring.
You on this nonsense?
Where am I? I can't see it happening. I can't. Although yes, lots of money, so on and so forth. I can't see it. I just can't. It just obviously as someone who's been a unified heavyweight world champion going in against Jake, well, it just doesn't sit. Yeah, and it's like I'm also talking from a health and safety factor. It's like he's maybe a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's a very big, strong heavyweight, and if he turns it on, it's not just a risk of a knockout. It's a much bigger risk. So I can't see it personally.
Former world champion Carl Froch has been dismissive of Jake Paul as a boxer. Froch argues that Paul lacks genuine boxing skills, often just moving around the ring without proper technique. After watching Paul's fight with Tommy Fury, Froch called it a complete mismatch and stressed that Paul is far from a legitimate contender.
When you take Jake Paul that serious, he can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. He swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, there's just so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like you put him in with someone his own size, who's a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level, and then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like totally different.
MMA fighter Darren Till has criticized Jake Paul's challenge to Anthony Joshua, calling it disrespectful. Till argues that, despite Paul's promotional skills, he hasn't earned the right to face one of boxing's top stars. Many in the boxing community agree, seeing Paul as overreaching. Beyond calling out Joshua, Paul has made bold claims questioning his chin and skill, sparking outrage among fans and analysts. With Joshua's decorated career, multiple championships, and wins over elite fighters like Klitschko and Usyk, many view Paul's statements as attention-seeking and disrespectful.
Is it all just, does he actually believe that he can beat Anthony Joshua? Is it all for clout? Is it all just to keep his... I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit disrespectful as well. Like, Anthony Joshua hasn't fucking been a heavyweight world champion, beating all these absolute killers just to get called out by Jake Paul. But look, if Jake Paul believes in himself, then, you can't really fault that. Like, obviously, but sometimes it comes across as a bit delusion as well. Because I know for a fact that I'd fight Jake, I'd beat him up easy. Not easy.
The Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight is widely seen as undermining boxing's credibility. Critics argue it reflects a growing trend of celebrity matchups that prioritize entertainment over real competition. High-profile bouts with social media stars, they say, cheapen the sport and its integrity. Rather than testing elite-level fighters, these spectacles focus on showmanship, potentially harming boxing's reputation and the respect it commands among serious fans.
Jake Paul hopefully gets flattened.
I know the money's there, but does ultimately boxing get damaged?
Well, I think so. But I think boxing damages itself left, right and centre. But I think the the reputability and the credibility of some of these boxing sanctioning bodies is poor anyway. But I think it does get damaged.
Even if it's an exhibition fight, which it might well be.
Well, then what's the jeopardy in that? If it's an exhibition fight, which it shouldn't be, if it's a proper fight, then Jake Paul...
Jake is stepping up to face a legitimate elite heavyweight rather than lower tier or retired opponents.